On April 8th, 2016, this is Social Lesson number 19, Day 6, Part 4, Greenbridge friends, and welcome back to the final part of the show. Yes, this is going to be it, where we're going to take a look at the proprieties, the laws 72, 3, 4 of ACBL. A lot of people aren't really that aware that they even exist on things such as etiquette, on when our emotions get into it, what is ethical, allowed, and what is not, zero tolerance included. So, let's get on with the score. I hope to see you before we hit the door. Okay, I never promised to be a rap guy, but let's go ahead and hit the table and start taking a look at some of the laws, as well as how to be a good partner and how to get good partners. See you there. Okay, and so what are the proprieties of the game that you may ask? Well, it gets into things such as etiquette and knowing about some of the conditions as far as what we can or are not allowed to do to be ethical players. So, first off, 72B, don't intentionally violate the laws or conceal an infraction. This would be, say, if you've made a revoke, you can't say, oh, they didn't catch me yet, apparently, so when we play the suit again, I'm going to go ahead and hide it a second time. That would be a more serious violation of the laws if you conceal something. You maybe played 2 cards already and you don't have any left. You kind of collapse them quickly or something like that. Or you make a claim you want to intermix your cards. No, that is not etiquette. But don't draw attention to an infraction that has occurred. Once it's instantiated and it's to the point of no return. And a good for instance of this is, let's say you have made a revoke. Everybody's playing on to the next trick. Nobody's noticed at this point in time. Once your side is played to the next trick, don't say anything. You don't even have to say anything after it's all over. You may feel ethically that, oh, I committed a revoke on trick number 5. I realize I'm not supposed to say anything once our side is played to the next trick. But this is trick 13. I want everybody to know. Well, that's being a good guy, but you don't say it like on trick 7 or 8 or something like that. Director, you wait until the play is over before you make your admissions. You don't do it in the middle of the play. Now, there are some things where if, say, you're in the bidding and you realize is that you gave a mis-explanation of a call, then you would call for the director and say, okay, I need to talk to you away from the table. You would explain it. He would talk to the opponents once individually, each at a time, and so on and so forth. But just be aware is that we don't conceal things. On the other hand, we don't go ahead and feel like we must come clean when it's already too late and it's torpedoes away. As if, for instance, is let's say that your side are the defenders. Well, if your side are the defenders and you said something wrong earlier, you can't say anything during the course of the play. On the other hand, if you're the declare, there's nobody to injure because your partner's the dummy, and as soon as you realize it, you call the director there. There are some nuances just to be aware of. It's good to have some general sense on when you sing like a canary and when you need to be quiet. Okay, next, 73A, don't emphasize on the bidding or play. Don't give mannerisms, gestures, hesitations, and the like, inflections, or play quickly, haste. Now, I see where some people, they want to do fast carding. That's not against the rules. If they try to start playing fast to get you to play fast, they might trip you up. I would say if somebody tries to fast play me, I would want to go deliberately. I'd want to think, I'd want not let them to do a parlor trick, as I like to say, to try to see if they can rattle me. Similarly, if they take a lot of extra hand time and I don't know why I don't have any points, well, my partner probably does. And if they're trying to use that inference to see who might have a queen, which way to do the finesse, I'm certainly going to take my time, and I'm look like I'm just as interested as my partner. So that's a little bit about being a street smart bridge player. But we don't deliberately make mannerisms, gestures. Our partner makes the lead. We don't give a certain look or put our cards down, these types of things. No, that is not allowed, is not according to Hoyle at all. Okay, 73C, if there is UI, unauthorized information that has been given from our partner, has made one of these gestures, let's say, we do not take advantage of the knowledge. And similarly, on 73D, desirable, but it's not always required to have a steady tempo. Yes, we would like it if every time we made a bid or a play, we were like a robot, an automaton, and in 5 to 7 seconds we would make a bid. In 5 to 7 seconds we would make a play. Sometimes it takes more. If it's done during the bidding, when you're in direct seat, though, that is, where you're not in the pass-out seat, it implies to your partner that you've got some extra values. You may not be penalized for doing that if you had needed extra time and it's just what it took, but the longer you take, the more the director is going to say, well, if your partner had logical alternatives beside the one that they made an inference based upon you taking extra time, it may cost you. You may get an average minus. Okay, moving on. 73E, Echo, lawful deceptions. Okay, you can false card. We've seen some of that where a couple hands back, the declarer put a queen of clubs on, and they had a second one. They knew they would lose both of them and try to get them to switch to another suit. That's okay. You can't, though, take unnecessary time without reason. As a, for instance, if you have a singleton, you don't have to play it instantly. If your normal pace is 5 seconds, that's okay, but I wouldn't take 10 to 15 seconds under the auspices. I'm trying to think about something on the last trick. The declarer is going to assume that you have more than one, and when you show out, they're going to get a director call, and the director say, why did it take you so long to play a singleton? That's not good. Okay. 73F Foxtrot. If innocent, NOS, the non-offending side, in other words, the other side made an offense, we're the non-offending side, and are damaged by the opponent's remarks, they make some type of remark, oh, I've got all the rest. Everybody faces their cards. You didn't have all the rest. Well, you accepted my claim. Well, no, you made a claim or a statement and a remark, and if it happens to be something, even the manner, the tempo, etc., then the director will adjust the score accordingly. Okay, 73F also has, if a player chooses favorable among logical alternatives when the partner gave this unauthorized information, as we said, that will be an adjusted score. So if I had a choice of 2 or 3 or 4 different actions, bids, passes, doubles, whatever it happened to be, and I just happened to choose one that got us a good result based upon my partner doing something like, say, went their head like this or something, yeah, the opponents could call and say, you know, this partner of Michael's made this kind of a head gesture and looked to me like that was a, say, don't double or something, and if I doubled, then logical alternative might have been for me to pass. Okay, going on, Law 74A Alpha, courtesy, avoid annoying or embarrassing others. Yeah, we can't say something like, why did you do that, opponent? No, that would not be a good inflection, and it's also going to scrutinize it in an unfriendly manner. It is being discourteous, so we don't want to do that. And we don't want to make embarrassment as to make some statement that draws attention, would puts them in a bad light. Yeah, why'd you guys double us? That wasn't a very cool thing to do. We made it, ha ha. No, can't do that. Okay, and if you do have these things, I'm not saying you challenge the opponents. You just call for the director and say, director, would you come over and help us? And here's what I observed that had happened. And let everybody have their piece, and the director will rule accordingly, and probably those opponents are not going to be quite so testy in the future. Okay, Law 74B, here's some don'ts. Don't pay insufficient attention to the game. Yeah, I know some people, when the opponents are taking a long time, they want to get out their cell phone, which you're not supposed to do, read a book or whatever. I've seen a Grand Life Master, they regularly read a book when the opponents are playing. They're so good they don't have to think about it. I've also seen in national tournaments where somebody gets a book when a person's going slow. They call the director, say, this person's distracting me. Why? Well, they're looking at a book, they're not paying attention. We want to try to show attention to the card. But mostly is what it's attending to is that making it look like you don't have the cards, so your partner may. That would be unauthorized information. Next, don't want to make gratuitous remarks. Oh, that was sweet. Oh, that was rich. You know, whatever it might happen to be, don't make gratuitous remarks. You can say, thank you, partner, for the dummy, or other types of things, such as, you know, we have where we're being complimentary to the field, but not, hopefully, to where it's to our partner at the opponent's expense. Don't detach a card before it's your turn to play. Not only is that a tell, and I've just talked to my mother about it in recent weeks when she plays with her seniors, and she says, oh, when a person detaches the cards, I know how to play the finesses. It's not good for that reason, but also it seemed to indicate that you've predetermined, well, maybe you've only got a singleton. And oh, by the way, my beloved wife, what she would do when she would run out of a suit, she'd move the cards around in her hand. I was like, darling, you can't do that. Later on, I'd see where she'd take her cards under the table. I say, darling, you can't do that. She says, what? And I said, I know what you're doing under the table. She says, stop looking. Well, I'm not looking, but we won't want to do things to show that we're voiding a suit or that we're detaching a card as though it's a predetermined decision. Okay, don't prolong play unnecessarily. Don't take more time than you need, and particularly if you know that you've got the rest of the tricks, don't start playing them slowly to try to rattle the opponents so they have to think, well, there must be a card I need to save somewhere. What is it? You can't do that to try to wear them out and fatigue them. Sorry about that. Okay, next up. We do not look intently at players during the auction or their unplayed cards, the position from where it is in their hands. No, we don't do that. We have to be where, yeah, we can, it's a person's turn to play. We can go ahead and look at them and see if they're ready and what's going on, but you don't stare them down, or you don't see what part of the hand, oh, it came from all over here. It must be the higher card in that suit. I have seen pros, including Jeff Mextroff, world-class player, take their longest suit and split it into two pieces. 5 spades, they put 3 spades over here, 2 spades over there, so that it's not easy when they draw from a long suit to see where the cards are coming from. Interesting. We do not show obvious lack of further interest in the bidding or play to say that, okay, here again, our hand is immaterial. We do not vary normal tempo of bidding and play to rattle the opponents. Yeah, to make it look like you've got a lot of points and a lot of decisions, even if you don't, just to try to rattle them. And we don't leave the table unnecessarily. There's more to this, but those are some of the basic parts of the no-nos in that law. 74C, we do not use different ways to make the same call. Well, what would that be? Well, let's say I open 1 heart, and there goes 1 spade by my left-hand opponent. You have a choice of bidding 2 spades, Q-bidding the opponent's suit, or maybe doing 3 hearts. If both of them are invitational and they have no difference, the opponents have the right to be suspicious. Why did you use 2 spades in one case? Why did you jump to 3 hearts in the next, if they both mean the same thing? So we try to have different meanings for different bids. Don't give the impression of the fact is we have secret private agreements, which is one of the most egregious laws, violations in all of bridge. Okay, next. We do not indicate approval or disapproval of a call or play. And I see this sometimes. I don't know if people are unaware of it, but their partner leads their suit and they're going like this. You cannot use nods up and down. It's interesting. I've seen people I've played against where they make a conventional call. Let's say they open 2 diamonds and it's the Flannery or Mini Roman or casino bid or something like this. And they make the bid and they look at their partner like, do you remember this is alertable? You cannot do that. A whole nother story. I won't get into that one now. We do not indicate expectations of a winning or a losing uncompleted trick. So before the trick is played, we don't make inferences that we know that it here again is predetermined what the result is going to be. Similarly, I had one partner that he got in and he knew that he was going to have the next 4 tricks, so he just put 4 cards face down and he just played them one at a time. Like, I know that this is going to happen. That would be a predetermined outcome that you're showing, as well as it's showboating. It's kind of bragging. Don't want to have people like that you play with. Okay, you do not call attention to significant event or number of tricks needed. As a dummy, we're not allowed to say, okay, partner, you need 3 more tricks. That is not part of the dummy's rights. We can say who won the last trick. If somebody asks us, we can say what the contract is, but we can't say about how many tricks are taken or how many tricks are required. The declarer's got to figure that one out for themselves. They can look if they want to and see about everybody else's cards and see if they can make a deduction, but they can't ask questions. Nobody can make comments about it. Okay, next. We all feel that we are better than our partner. That's pretty much a truism in bridge. And interestingly, our partners often feel the same way, that they're better than us. So that's one of the things in bridge is that do we have a realistic assessment? Are we not only self-aware but situationally aware of how our strength is? I have someone who was telling me is that in prisons everybody is innocent. There are no guilty people. In bridge players, everybody's better than their partners. Yeah. So I think it's good to be realistic and say, how am I with my partner? Am I stronger or the weaker? And we'll get into some more on that in a moment. Our partners feel the same way about us, that they are better, yes. Some partnerships are balanced. Obviously, that's a good place to be. But there are mentor relationships, and ACBL and bridge units, they try to see where somebody wants to be a mentor to help others, maybe pay for their fee, give them some tips along the way. What a wonderful thing in the game. Some are an alpha-beta relationship. Some are more the active and some are more the passive, and some relationships are synergistic and they work out that way. Everybody's comfortable. Yes, you're better than me, and as long as you're not masterminding and showboating, yes, I appreciate you taking the time and kind of coaching me along the way. Then there are some that are give and take and growing in different ways. And there are some that need to go on to greener pastures. And somebody asked me about this when I gave this lesson just recently at a club. And the point is that, yeah, if you have somebody that's better to you, but they want to mastermind, they want to preempt with nothing one time, they tell you some things about rebids are not forcing by the responder. That is when the opener's not rebid when no trump. Yeah, it's kind of like you wonder if you're really getting the good stuff from some of these people, or if they just like to be the alphas and have everybody subservient to them, and that's not a very good relationship in the long run. So I would encourage you is to be a good partner, not to be in those modes to somebody else. Obviously in third seat, sometimes favorable vulnerability. We do some things, take some risks, but normally it's better to keep the ball in the center of the fairway, be trustworthy, and know that we can trust our partner and grow together and win by having superior bidding and play rather than trying to just throw the dice again and again and again, which kind of shows you and your partner that you're either think you're a lot better and you can get away with things, or you're a lot worse and you just want to take chances and see if you can just win once in a while. But that is not the basis of a good partnership. So that's something to think about as you work on your bridge partners. And be aware that you may do really well in one ecosystem, but as you go around to play at other clubs, other tournaments, that you realize as well, you don't want to be the person that just got off the turnip truck, so to speak, but you want to be in a situation where you feel like you are a noteworthy competitor, and you are to be respected, and that you have respect, and you also enjoy this thing we spoke about earlier, is you enjoy the experience of learning bridge, of continuing your bridge journey, which we are all on. Okay? So at this point, let's go ahead and head for the table and play our last two hands. See you there. Well, okay, bridge friends, we are here for the closer in hands number 7 and 8 and wrapping up the show. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and dig in. Now, our first hand is going to be where there were some top pros playing in big tournament, and this is the way it went. South is going to start with 1 club with ace queen 3 times, 3 diamonds, ace queen 10, nice honors there, jack 3 times in spades, not so much, and 4 hearts to the 10-9. 4, 6, and another 6, looks like about 12-ish, I'm not sure about this jack third, but they opened 1 club, as they should. Over to the west hand. Well, they've got a 4-4-3-2, a doubleton in the club suit, so it looks like it's going to be time for a takeout double is what they do. They have king 10-9, 4 times in spades, king 9-7, 4 times in diamonds, and ace jack 3 times in hearts, 11 points, and is going to make a double. So that was 1 club and a double so far. Over to the north hand. Well, look at the club suit. It has 6 of them, and doubleton in hearts, a tripleton in spades, and jack doubleton in diamonds. So what would you bid with that? After a double by the opponents. Maybe 2 clubs? No. 3 clubs. We jump, raise? That's what they play? No. Alan Songtag. decided 4 clubs. They were not going to let the opponents play in 3, no trump there, were they? So they said, okay. They figured this was the type of hand against their opponents that they were going to make them do some guessing. I don't think this is mastermind. Hopefully it was non-vulnerable versus vulnerable. I didn't get a chance to see the vulnerability on this one, but they bid 4 clubs. Okay, you over in the east, what do? You've got a 4-4-3-2. You wish you had 4-4 in the majors, but you haven't won anyway. You have king, queen, 4 times in hearts, ace, queen, 3 times in spades, 4 small diamonds, and 2 clubs. What is your call? Well, they made a double at this table, which says this is responsive, and I have some values, and I don't know where you want to go, but I don't have a clear action. Back to south. It's a pass. Okay, now what are you going to do over here? You had that 11-point hand, and makes you scratch your head, and where do you want to go from there? Well, they weren't so sure. I think they should have passed, and that's what the recommendation is from the book where I saw this, but they weren't so sure. So they went for a rebid of 4 diamonds. See, partner, where do you want to go next? And it came back over here, and they said, wow, how about for hearts? So the guessing game is on, isn't it? And that's where they played that. And we can see that you're going to be losing 2 clubs, and you're going to be losing a couple of diamond tricks. Even though the king is behind the ace, you don't lose that one. And yeah, if you can promote the spade suit because the opponents are 3-3, you can get 1 pitch there of your diamond, but still you've got 2 diamond losers. So you've got 2 losers in both of the minor suits to go down 1. So alternatively, how do they do in 4 clubs? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at it. The lead is a king of hearts. It holds. A little heart to the ace. It holds. A spade coming back. We win it with the ace. A spade going back. Win it with the king. A spade. Win it again. And a diamond to our king. And we can see that the defenders have how many tricks? 6. Well, that leaves 7 for the person who bid 4 spades, and they need how many? 10. So that would be down 3. Had they made a double, it would be, let's say it was non-vulnerable, 100, 300, 500. If it was vulnerable, 200, 500, or 800. Hey, both of those are better than going down our way, isn't it? So when it was that 4 diamond or 4 clubs, and then over here a responsive double that says, partner, use your best judgment. I've got some values, but I don't have a great hand. If you did, you would just bid 4 hearts or 4 spades, right? So taking a look at this hand again, I ask you, does that one look like it belongs in 4 hearts or 4 spades? Let's take a close look at their primary honors. I see 1. I see 2. I see 3. It's not that great a hand. It's 11 points, and yeah, you have this ace-jack working in hearts, sort of, but it's not a great hand. So I think in this situation, and here, East, you did a good job to say, well, I've got a couple clubs that are losers anyway, and my diamonds sure as heck don't look good, and I've only got about 3 or 4 tricks myself, but to go up to the 4 level, no, I can't do that on my own. So here again, use some judicious play and think it out before you go ahead and make that game call. Okay, let's take a look at our next hand. Our last one is going to be 4 spades in the south. Let's see how we can get there. So first seat was west. It is no values there, a passed. Second seat, not much there. A 5-3-3-2, hardly any values, a lot of quackers, nothing there. Over in third seat, sometimes we can take some risks, can we? Because we can't worry about our partner as far as preempting them. They're already a passed hand. So I don't like doing it with a 4-card side suit with an honor, particularly with an ace, because you just don't have that many losers if you have your values and your trump suit. But in this case, with king 6 times, yeah, if you want to make a sporty bid and make 2 spades, particularly non-vulnerable, even vulnerable, you're probably fine. So they went and started with 2 spades in third seat. It was a pass, pass, 2 spades. Over to south. Well, yeah, you want to make a bid, don't you? So I guess, hey, you'll say, it's not a great hand, but I'm going to do 3 hearts. Okay, over here to the passed hand. Is your partner borrowing a king from you? Or what is going on? So they decide 3 spades. I don't really have much, but hey, I've got some spade value, so let's go ahead and up the preempt a little bit. Over here in the next hand, they are going for hearts, I suppose. And what happened is it went around to 4 spades. And you know what happened there. The hammer was dropped. It was doubled. So let's see how we do in 4 spades doubled. Oh yeah, you know where that's going. Leading off a trump when the opponents are going too high a level. You know, one's a passed hand, the other been 2 spades. They go to 4 spades. Yeah, lead a trump. Cut down on their roughing power. Okay, they win the king. They came back with another spade to our ace. I start with that low spade in case your partner had a singleton king. Okay, go with a heart to the ace. Come back with a club to the jack. You see all those low ones in the dummy. You win it. Come back with the king of hearts. They win. They now go with an ace of clubs, another club to the king, and a heart to our partner's jack, but it is roughed. They come back with a club, and now our partner says, I want to do some roughing also. Okay, a diamond. We win the ace, a heart, and they rough it. They play a diamond to our partner's king for it. Finally, partner helped them out a little bit. And the last trick. So in this auction, East-West, you've won 7 tricks. You are down 3. And you know how that goes. 100, 300, 500, or 200, 500, 800. Either of which is pretty doggone ugly. So in this auction, not a good auction. 2 spades after 2 passes. I'm fine with that. 3 hearts, tough call. I'm okay with that. 3 spades, that's kind of risky. You know, when your partner's in third seat, if they're a frisky bidder, you're taking a big risk, especially if you're vulnerable. But they said, let's roll the dice. And with 2 passed hands here, I guess okay. So over here, I think 4 spades, it's kind of questionable. Quacker, quacker, quacker. You don't really have much in this hand. I don't think I'd want to go 4 hearts. But at any rate, after 4 hearts, anybody to go 4 spades in the East or West is ludicrous. You're just asking for trouble. And going down 3 doubled is always bad bridge. Well, okay, well that wraps up our game for the day. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and we covered a lot on being a street, smart bridge player. So I guess the lessons learned is that think about your emotions. Think about the risk reward, that rule of 2, 3, and 4. Think about the CIA, the counts, the inferences, the algorithms, being aware at the table. Think about being a good partner and what that means. Finding good partners if you don't have them. Thinking about the various ecosystems to continue your journey and to improve your bridge. So as always, thanks for coming by to Bridge Hands. It's been great to be here with you for these 2 hours. And we'll go ahead and do a catch-up in a couple weeks. Come back to doubles and overcalls. So until then, as always, have a great day playing bridge, and bye for now.